Let us look at another example of factorizing. It says factorize z square minus 3z minus 10. So you have z square minus 3z minus 10. Okay, to factorize this, the procedure is the same. Multiply the first term and the second term, the first term and the third term rather. In this case, you will get 10z squared. Now you find factors of 10, which when you multiply will give you 10, but when you add, they will give you 3. Now we're looking at adding or subtracting. Whether you add or subtract them, they should give you a 3. So if you look at 10, let's find the factors of 10. So if you have 10 here, the first common factor of 10 would be a 2. 2 into 10 will give you 5. Then the next factor would be 5. 5 into 5 will give you 1. Now if you look at this, you find out that we only have two numbers, where in like also have two numbers. So if we have two numbers, we can easily use them to rewrite the middle term. So now we have 2 times 5. On the multiplication part, we can see that 2 times 5 will give us a 10. But then our 10, if you look at our 10, it is a negative 1. So it means one of these numbers has to be negative. But before we choose which, let us look at 3. The middle term is negative 3. So we have to make sure whichever number we make as a negative, if we add it to the other number, it should give us a negative 3. So in our case, we have 5 as the larger number and 2 as the smaller number. Which one do you think should we make as a negative 1? So basically, we would have 2 plus, and we'll make 5 as the negative number, negative 5. That one will give us, if you try on your calculator, you'll get a negative 3. Now after finding out that, it means we have to rewrite our middle term as we have to write 3, the middle term, in terms of 2 and 5. So basically you have z square minus, or rather plus, the 2 is positive, plus 2z minus 5z minus 10. If you have rewritten the middle term into two terms, you can now continue with the process of creating brackets. So you have the first bracket here and the second bracket here. In the first group of numbers, that is z square and 2z, you find the common factor. If you check well, you will see that the common factor there is z. Z into z squared will give you z. Z into 2z will give you plus 2. And then in the second group, you find out that we have a negative 5 here and negative 10 here. We have to make sure that whatever we do, we must find z plus 2 as our terms in the brackets. So we choose the common factor as negative 5. Negative 5 into negative 5z will give you z. Basically, the negative will cancel each other out, and 5 into 5 is 1. So what remains there is just a z. Negative 5 into negative 10 will give you a plus 2. So then you have the result as z minus 5 and z plus 2. Reaching at that point, it means that you have factorized that expression. This one becomes your answer.